She tried everything to make me better, smarter than I was. But retardation is not like a disease that can be cured. A few years later, she had my sister Norma. Norma would grow up to be a normal person without my terrible affliction. As soon as my mother figured this out, it was like I had ceased to exist. I was cast away and hidden from the outside world. All the determination she had once had for me was now switched on to Norma. Norma was to have the perfect childhood, and I was never to touch or even to think about her. And if I did, the most cruel punishments would follow. One night, everything changed. I don't even recall what it is that I had done. All I remember is my mother's figure holding a knife, faded to the distance, as my father took me out of the house, never to return. I dare not try and look deeper into my past now for fear of what I may find. Instead, I choose to remember the experiment that has brought me to my present-day state. The experiment was supposed to let me live like a regular person. What really happened, no one could have predicted. My rise to genius started slowly. I had to learn at the age of 32 what others learned at the age of 6, 7. With time, my rate of learning picked up, and I was speeding through what took others lifetimes to learn. I also began to comprehend that the faces that people show you are simply masks that hide what is underneath, good or bad. It is like picking up an apple that seems so delicious at first, but then taking a bite into it and finding out that a worm has eaten away all the insides. People are like this too. They may seem to be incredibly knowledgeable and powerful, but all that knowledge and that power is their own creation. To complete my quest, I need to cast off my own mask and gaze upon the face that lies underneath. To do this, I need to look at my past. But how can one look at a past that is shrouded in darkness? I'm like a man who's been half asleep for his entire life, trying to find out what he was like before he woke up. But when I'm able to understand myself, when I'm truly able to understand my past, it is then and only then that I will attain true knowledge. Along with this knowledge comes power, responsibility, and most of all, loneliness. All these intricacies were unexpected. When I still had my IQ of 67, things were simpler, much simpler. I was happier, unburdened with the unspoken obligation to contribute to society with my knowledge. A better future is what I had hoped to contribute, but I realize now that this hope may not be able to be made into a reality. The very experiment that was used to bring me to my present-day state had a flaw in it, and one that could prove to be fatal. I still do not know how this flaw will affect me, or to what extent that it will affect me. But one thing that I'm sure of is that I may not have as much time left as I originally thought. End of log 1. As exemplified in his reports, Charlie's had an increasingly trying life. You and I, we all know at least part of his story and can relate to his struggles. We revel when he accomplishes something and have an unmistakable sadness in our hearts when we realize what will happen in the end. His story gives us pause and lets us think in a way that no other book has. We watch and we learn as Charlie begins to understand human nature, and through him, we gain part of this understanding for ourselves. We see how he seeks to make a difference, the smallest difference for the betterment of people, and how he never gets the chance to actually do so. What lies in Charlie's future? Only time can tell. To learn the epic conclusion to Charlie's tale, I urge you to read on in Flowers of Algernon by Daniel Keyes. Thank you.